Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members of the Patrons, make sure to subscribe and let's go guys. So very interesting things. We just had kind of a Q&A with the developers about various amounts of things, so let's just do a small recap. I will leave these in the description for you to take a proper look. But there's a lot of things, so let's just do a quick recap about everything. So the first thing that they go through with it is the effectiveness of the M1 ABRAMS. As you know, people are complaining that the ABRAMS is not on par with the most advanced MBTs from other nations. And I think in the statistics kind of backed that, even to a certain point that Gaijin is planning to change some stuff. So the first thing is that they will be soon releasing a dev blog on the hull armor of the M1 Abrams series of tanks, where they will explain why they believe the hull armor was not reinforced on production vehicles. So yeah, basically the armor of the hull will not be upgraded apparently, which was kind of expected, I think. But it's kind of sad, but it is kind of expected from what we've seen, right? With the way that everything is. But they are considering some changes to the overall tank so that they can actually be more effective and be a little bit more fixed. So they consider the M829A3 round, which is one of the most modern rounds that they have. I think there is a lot. There is the A4, but the A3 is like, I don't know when exactly it is from, but it is a very modern round. But they say that it is not gonna increase too much of the effectiveness compared to the A2 that it is in game. So they are just considering it right now, but they're not really going through anything for now. But the main thing is that they are going to decrease the reload from 6 to 5 seconds. They already did actually on an ace level, so now they are firing a little bit quicker, which is a start, I must say. This is pretty good. For the Leopard 2A7V, a lot of people were complaining about the armor, right? Some people were complaining how the armor of the 2A6 in certain points were stronger than the 2A7, or how the Swedish Leopard 2s were better, right? So they go through many explanations around here. They say they are working on new ways of making the armor, not exactly that, but they are basically working on the armor. They say in the near future they will update the damage model for all Leopard 2 tanks apparently, therefore correcting any minor discrepancies. So the minor 2 to 5% protection being less than the 2A6, for example, will be fixed apparently, or something like that. So the way that I put it, it might be even a nerf to the 2A6, but let's not get too much into that. And they basically answer how, yes, even though the Swedish are using right now a better armor package, it's more because of how they have the information more on the Swedish tanks than the Germans. Something like that, right? So basically they need to have real life stuff to actually be sure on how the armor is. So eventually the armor of the 2A7 is weaker than some of the other tanks, but still they say that in the game they're not using the B package, but they're they're really using a much improved package like the D2, I think, or something along those lines, or even better than that, because it has a 65% of protection on the front, which I kind of tend to agree, even though yes, it might not be right, but it's not a weak tank. The 2A7 is a very, very strong tank. There's always things to be better or fixed, but at least it's usable. I think it's more usable than something like the M1. Or even other things like the AD80 and stuff. So there are other nations that suffer more, but still, it's something that they need to deal with. So yeah. So just a small recap is basically that people were saying that it was an older armor kind of situation, but they just like use these diagrams saying that the B armor that players say that it was using, it is much weaker than what we have in the game, and they basically explain that. So yeah. And then Spaliners for the Ariete, Merkava, and Leclerc. Basically, they're studying to add the Spaliners for the Ariete tanks, but the Merkavas and the Leclercs, they don't have a lot of information to add those Spaliners into those tanks. So if you have any open, let me rephrase that, open sources that say that the Merkava or the Leclerc have Spaliners, make sure to leave it in the forums, right? Battle rating 12.7 for aviations. They're not going to add 12.7 right now. They say the aircraft that are 12.3 and the older aircraft as well, everybody's kind of in a good position right now statistically, right? So in the future we might see, even before we see an upgrade in the top ranks of the number of the battle rating, we might even see, like, for example, a MiG-29 913 getting the R-73, the 912A getting the R-73, maybe DEVS-16As even getting the A9M or something like that, because they are not planning to add the 12.7. Why do I say this? Because they are continuously to monitor the statistics, right? So they might even add other stuff so that 12.0s and stuff can fight the 12.3s a little bit better. And as for the Gripen, they are revising the flight model and everything, of course, but I don't know, I feel like it's an amazing aircraft, but I still prefer to fly the F-15 or the Su-27, so I think it's a personal thing, right? Then the Tornado IDS WTD, they talk about how they are, closely monitoring the aircraft's performance before they add any type of guided weaponry or anything like that. This is the new premium Tornado. A lot of people complain about it because it's kind of meh, it's kind of nothing. But yeah, hopefully it gets something. And then they basically say topics for the upcoming development blogs. They are going to do, they're working on some Challenger 2 reports, so the armor of many tanks they're working on, they're working on stuff for the Stinger and Mistral, and so on and so on. So just a small Q&A that they basically tackle some of the stuff that people are complaining about. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Indeed, I love to see this type of thing. Hopefully they do more. But yeah, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe and